what's up? How you doing?
Rather good.
Rather good.
About to head to the lake house with, not my lake house, my aunt and uncle's lake house that they recently got in Alabama.
That's
and
tight.
then, and then they, and hanging out with them and my cousins and my family. And then from there, gonna drive to they have a condo that they rent out in Florida, but they let us stay there for free, which is very generous. And
So you got the fresh cut, looking great.
thank you. Yeah, got that right before I went to the batch party that I was just at this past weekend.
Young batch party.
Young batch party.
So wait, you had a wedding the weekend prior.
No. Wedding is in July.
Okay, well, where were you the weekend before last weekend?
Home.
I was on the.
Yeah,
you were on the pod.
I was here
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is not a wedding you're going to, but it was a wedding related thing, bachelor party.
Yeah, in the span of like a month, I had the bachelor party, and then this family vacation, and then the wedding I'll be in Colorado July 1st through 10th.
Gotcha.
But that's just partly just vacation. You know, because it's a short week. There's already 4th of July. We get that Monday off, and then I was going to take Thursday, Friday off. And you know what? I was like, let's just take the whole week off. Going to stay with some friends. Going to do a bunch of stuff.
Do a bunch of stuff.
Going to have some possible octagonal LSD.
Pyramidical, perhaps?
Verde in color.
You need to secure like a 10 strip of that, my friend.
You know what? I just might.
You should. You should. Fuck it. You should secure like a 15er.
I want to see what I can do about that.
5 a pop.
Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah. So you're hanging with the folks that source the goobers, essentially, for folks that have been listening.
This is a different folk. Not the orange goober folks. The hunt is still on for the orange goobers, but and I have like 4 different people like working on that, but. You know, I think many of them got the orange. I think the orange goobers originate from the source,
right?
And no,
I think it's literally it's one type of, for sure. It's one type of goober.
The orange pyramid goobers are the green octagons. This it's a whole.
There's so many more dimensions to an octagon, bro. Taking octagonal acid is fucking nuts. Like, bro, I took 2.5 octagonals. Everything's octagonal now. Trust me. This pizza, it's got edges to it. It's got points to it.
My friend said that they took 1/4 of it and it was crazy.
Like 1/4 of one?
Yeah.
Of one? How big is this thing?
That's like, I'm pretty sure it's a normal size, but.
He took 1/4 of a tab of this?
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck.
Yeah. So we're going to this place. Look it up, called MWII Wolf. It's like it's like a city museum, but like on crack or like I guess on acid. But it looks insane.
MWII Wolf. I'm looking it up right now. Let's get some photographs on the screen here for me.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Wow, folks at home, look up MWII Wolf. Wow, that just imagine if you were dip skiing during that.
My friend, one that I'm staying with,
is that the plan?
Him, Sean. You can bleep him out, but maybe I don't know. He probably doesn't give a shit. But Sean, from shit, let that out. But he took mushies and went there and said it was exquisite. So.
Wow. Yeah. I bet this is exquisite. It looks like there's a black and white room, which is kind of fucked.
Dude, you just like you like find a refrigerator and you just open it up and there's just like a tunnel that you just walk in through. You're like, okay. Like washing machines. Just go through it.
This looks fun as shit. I'm glad there's more Mega Mart. Where is this located?
In Denver. I'm pretty sure downtown Denver.
Oh, that makes sense. It's in Dendy's?
It's in Denver. I'm pretty sure there's multiple locations.
It looks like it's founded in Santa Fe.
Yeah, there's more than one.
Interesting. It looks like it's in Santa Fe, the one I'm looking at.
I definitely know that. I've looked at the...
Oh, Convergence Station is the one in Denver.
Okay. Perhaps they have multiple names for each one. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, this looks nutsack. Regardless, that's gonna be cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Sweet. I drank caffeine before this episode for like the first time in a week, and I drank a Bang.
Oh wow.
Very
300
quickly.
millis.
And it's like I have that little strain in my left side, and it's just like maybe I just need to just not do any of this shit, because I feel like I'm just at a point where just like unless I can get it's like I just am paranoid about my heart. No doctor has told me there's anything wrong with my heart, but it's like, all right, I'm a big guy, you know, I've said this a million times on the pod, and I just get these paranoid because you know, and I get
Phantom
paranoid
pains.
and I get anxiety about my heart. It's like maybe I can't even do caffeine. You know, 300 millis may be too much for me.
That's like 5 cups of coffee, so it's quite a bit.
Yeah,
Or 4, you know, depends.
Like
on
I
the
feel
size,
fine, but I was panicking for like a little bit at the beginning, and then I did just now, like a little bit. But as long as I know my
200.
heart's not gonna explode and like have a heart attack, I don't know why I'm worried about it. It's like that's not gonna happen. My heart's not gonna explode.
But it's
I'm not gonna
crazy
have a heart
that you're just off the caffeine though. That's what I need to get on, because like,
dude,
you know, I buy.
Partially because I want to up my tolerance, because like I took a Bang, and it's like that the even just a 2-week tolerance break. I took a C4 last Saturday, which is another week ago, but it takes about 2 weeks to fully reset your caffeine tolerance, apparently. So I'm probably 80 to 90% reset. The big thing is like it lasts way longer. Like you drink one and it's just the whole day you can ride that out. Versus if it's OD, you'll crash and whatever.
No, I'll drink one in the afternoon at work, and then it'll get to like 2, and I'm like, wow, it's like I didn't even drink it. Cool.
Right. I was getting to that where it was really not doing as much, and I would do it every day. So it was kind of like I was doing that just to fire things up.
Oh yeah, I would like crave it, but then I would like realize that I'm like very active and like awake and aware, and I'm like, I don't need one right now. Why is my brain telling me I want one? I don't need one.
I don't need one.
Just money. It's getting up like $350 now. It's like, bruh.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, it's one of them things. For sure. Like, I'm not on alk. This is my officially 21 days not smoking.
No alcohol, no weed, no fast food, no caffeine.
Yep.
No life. No, I'm just kidding.
This is my 15th day taking a walk for 30 minutes every morning.
Yeah,
so, you know, I'm trying to stick with these things. They're easy because they're cutouts.
Yeah.
The alcohol and weed thing, I'm like very surprised that I've been able to keep it up. Like going to Portugal was a good way to kind of reset everything. Because like I only drank there, I didn't smoke, and you know, fucking like I drank enough that I was just like anxious the next day. I'm at the phase in life where like the hangovers have anxiety with them, not just like I feel groggy. And it's just like, yeah, I don't need this shit. I feel like I'm just really sensitive. My body's telling me like, stop doing all this shit. Stop eating fast food. It makes you worry about your heart. Stop smoking weed. It makes you worry about your heart. Stop drinking. It makes you worry about your body and your life, you know, and stop drinking so much caffeine because it makes you worried about your heart, you know? So it's like, yeah, I'm pretty committed to the no alcohol and weed thing. I realized like, oh, I had plenty of fun before I started doing any of those things.
Oh yeah.
And I think the weed thing for me, and it's like, I'm also thinking about it in the terms of like, not forever, just not right now or until things get a little chill. Like I want to build certain things up and get shit off the ground and really get shit together before I do that shit again. And it's, I feel like it's unlocking more motivation. It's unlocking more discipline and all that shit. And I do feel pretty committed to it. So we'll see where it goes. You know, I'll keep the audience, I'll keep the small Welcome Boke militia updated on that for sure.
I think the no alcohol is like the biggest thing, you know, because I don't keep alcohol in my place, you know. I haven't bought alcohol for my house since I moved here 3.5 years ago. So
yeah, it's for me, it's really doing both for me is what's crazy is like when I would quit weed, I would drink. When I would,
right.
I never really quit drinking because it's never been a thing I needed to quit. but I'm just committing to both because I know if I don't smoke weed, I'll just drink more. And
I mean,
also, you know,
you've never been like a drinker, anyways. You
no,
know?
I've never.
Yeah.
I get that from my dad. You know, my grandfather, rest in peace, was an alcoholic, frankly, for years, and never for when I was born. I mean, he stopped. He went to AA and all that. Not to put his business out there, but you know, rest in peace. He was a great man. I don't think he would mind me talking about this for the sake of promoting sobriety. I think that's perfectly fine. But yeah, my dad has memories of, you know, him being drunk. He was never like a bad drunk. It was just, he was a drinker, you know, men of his day. A lot of them were. And my dad was never a big drinker. My dad kind of always kept it together. My dad's great at pacing. I've never seen my dad wasted ever. I've literally never seen my dad wasted. I've seen him buzzed plenty of times. You know, tired, but like not wasted, not sloshy, not embarrassing at all. I think I get that from my dad. I like to think I'm pretty good at the pace. I keep a good pace. You know, it only took a couple open bars and weddings in my early adolescence to realize the shit will trick you. You got to really drink water and basically stop drinking at a certain point, switch to beer, switch to water. You know, so I'm better at that. But the weed thing is big. And my body was just telling me, like, dude, stop smoking weed. Because every time you smoke weed, you panic. Like, I'm panicking now a little bit off just like caffeine. So it's like,
right.
You know, I got to chill. I got to chill on all these things. I drank caffeine today because we were going to record. I kind of wanted to be more perked up. I've also been going to bed at like 9:00 every night just because I carried the jet lag from Portugal over and just kept my sleep schedule going to bed at 9 or 10, waking up at 5 or 6 every day for like a couple of weeks now. So
good sleep is the best drug, you know,
dude, I've been getting great sleep. I've been getting a solid 8 every day without missing. So I
got to get my 8 every time, you know.
Got to get that 8, that octane.
Every time. 11 p.m. I'm like closing my eyes. And then maybe I don't fall asleep for an hour or half an hour, but I'm like laying there, lights out, not looking at the screen, you know, because it's hard to fall asleep. But then I wake up naturally at like 6:30 and then I can kind of lay around for an hour and like sort of sleep till 7:30. And I live a mile from work. So I just roll out of bed. And I'm there. I'm ready in less than a half hour.
Just zip over there. Yeah, man. It's good stuff. I mean, I want to keep up with it. I've been eating a little bit healthier. I'm just trying to make permanent small changes. And I know, so you might think, all right, quitting alcohol and weed, that seems major. But for me, it's just like, it's actually, like you always say, Tony, like once you just decide something, you decide it. And it just, it commits to it.
It's crazy how our
it's
brains
crazy
work.
how, when you, and it's easier to decide something when it's passive, like not doing something. It's a lot easier, I think, than being like, all right, I'm going to do this thing every day, you know?
Right.
So yeah, man, I recommend anyone out there who like feels like they've been struggling with the shit to just try to make that decision and try to see it as like, because this is how people quit smoking too. Like Grant quit smoking this way. He read a book and the whole book's basically about you think you need to smoke, but you really don't. There's no purpose to smoking cigarettes, I'm saying.
Right.
So to me, I'm kind of keeping that same mindset of like, okay, like when I got back, I wasn't drinking and it was Memorial Day weekend and I went out with friends. They all got drunk and I was having a great fucking time because I just like to talk and be with people. And these things are supposed to supplement that. And it's like, they might in certain ways, but like if the trade-off isn't there, or the trade-off, if it's a big trade-off of like, oh, I'm going to feel like shit or I'm going to be paranoid or whatever.
Be $15 poorer.
Right.
For one fucking drink.
Right.
Fuck that.
I mean, it's actually pretty rad. That's what really did it for me. It was like, I really broke through the first couple of days where I was like, man, I would like to drink this weekend. And I didn't, still had fun. And I think just the more I do that, the more committed I'll be. So yeah, just think about it like you don't really need the shit. And I also have a good excuse. You know, jaded's really important to me. I work on that every day, all day. I want to be more available. And I realized I was like compartmentalizing my time. Like, all right, I'll be done with this and then I'll be high for this. And then now it's high time and I'm not doing any work. And it's just like, I have too much shit I want to do kind of like every day all the time now that it's like I can't block out those chunks. And also, frankly, when my brothers at Jaded want to start talking about something at like, the afternoon and I'm already baked, it sucks. It ruins the high anyway. So it's like it's just another system of management I just don't have time or effort to deal with right now. And then on top of all the physiological and psychological effects, it's just like it's an easy choice to make. But anyways, enough of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, but what were you about to say? No, go ahead.
I was going to say, eventually, once you,
I was going to say,
we're just going to throw this out there. No. Once you get everything rolling and you're to a point where you can like set like, hey guys, tomorrow's going to be a vacation day for me. You have, maybe other people working for you or with you, and they can take care of shit, and then you can just on a daily level.
Yeah, I think I'm just like literally too motivated and focused right now to do it.
Yeah, and once that pays off,
I am so excited by the prospect of what JD could become, and I'm so confident it will become what it will become that I'm just kind of fired up every day to work on it. So. And we're expanding. We've got new personnel behind the scenes working with us that rule. And, we're doing well. We got almost 1.2K on YouTube, and it's just we're all in it for the long game. We all have the we can't be stopped. We all have basically all have the sort of like overhead of covered, like we all have our own jobs and things, and we can manage doing those while focusing on this at the same time. So it's not like it needs to get off the ground immediately. We're in it for the long game. We still want to keep that momentum up and try to get that pat and more rhythmic quicker, which, by the way, if you're listening to this and you like Jaded, please consider donating to our open collective. We're not doing Patreon because Patreon, at the end of the day, it's not quite as transparent as our open collective platform. There's more to that, but please contribute. Be a monthly contributor. If it's just $5 a month and you watch the episodes every time. I mean, we work on this tens of hours a week outside of our regular jobs during times where we could be doing anything else. So if you like it, help us get to a point where we can do that full time. We want to make content for you, and not only that, we want to expand it and do other shit with it. And also, being able to do that would help me build Woke and Boke out as well. Take the things I learned from Jaded, build Woke and Boke. I mean, I'm telling you the whole playbook here in public. So it's like, if you guys help me out, you're going to get a lot of shit. But anyways, yeah. That's how I feel. Once I'm in like a celebratory, we did it, we're off the ground, we're flying, then I might, spark up, do that. And it's like, of course, Christmas, I'm going to,
I'm gonna trip.
I'm gonna get dipped up and squipped up.
I'm taking those octagons.
I'm taking those rhombus trips with y'all. But yeah, we have. I did a lot of work. Not really a lot, but I did a solid little job here. I don't know if you got the notes open on. Whatever. But
you bet.
Big moves, as many of you know, really in like within the first 6 months of this podcast coming out, within like a month of this podcast coming out, Modern Warfare 2019 came out, and I want to take this broad. I want to start where Modern Warfare started. Like, I remember seeing the trailers that they were going to remake Modern Warfare, and at first I was like, that's really, it's really bold to do that. To just like, all right, we're fully resetting Modern Warfare. And I was like, COD is like such, it's like Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, the original Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare is such an iconic game, and it was a big leap in video games. It was the first game that like it came out and it was like, all right, you could play Halo, but have you ever seen COD 4? Like, right. And it's this game where like you've played other Call of Duties, but they're World War II, and the multiplayer is not like crazy. It had a big PC presence. I remember my cousin playing COD 2 online. That was fucking sick. That was really like dope. But COD 4 was the first one that broke into the mainstream. It became more for casual core, hardcore players. And I remember it was just this game where it's like, wow, you die so quickly. This is insane. And for a lot of people, I feel like a lot of the casual console players just weren't aware of games like Counter-Strike, where that was the norm, where you get shot 3 times and you're fucking dead. Really realistic hitbox, like damage levels and things like that. Sort of more bordering on the mil sim, you might call it, genre. And when COD 4 came out, it was like, wow, this is like a whole different game. Because, yeah, you can die really quickly, but you can mow down like 4 people at once. You can mow down people yeah, exactly. You can shoot through fucking walls and hit people. You can fucking, like, all this Counter-Strike shit, but updated to be a little bit more enjoyable for the console players, a little bit more AAA level, not just like this PC mod game. And it was just amazing. It was like, wow, like look at all these badass guns. I mean, there was nothing more badass than playing the something expendable, crew expendable. The first mission with Price that you play in Modern Warfare. I mean, basically just the beginning of Call of Duty 4. I mean, nothing is more badass than that. Just realizing how the game, it was such a birth of a new type of game. It was like I said, the Counter-Strike model meets AAA action, streamlined mainstream. I mean, I got COD 4 remastered playing behind me on the TV. It was a big fucking deal. And obviously that spawned a fucking, I don't want to necessarily say like a revolution in shooters, but it was like a huge phenomenon. It obviously Modern Warfare 2 took it to another level where it was like, all right, everyone's just playing COD. That's like the main game to play now. Fuck Halo. It's not really fuck Halo, but Halo was number 2 at that point. The average bro was playing COD at that point. And that's where COD, the name COD really, I mean, it was COD and COD 4, of course, but it became COD during Modern Warfare 2 especially. And we were, in 9th, 8th grade when that came out. It was September 2009. So we were starting high school, right, when Modern Warfare came out. Yeah. Crazy. And I remember being so disappointed I cried at how unbalanced that game was. It was so frustrating. I literally cried at how fucked up. I mean, I cared a lot because, and then it moved to Call of Duty Black Ops, which found them being like, all right, Treyarch knows how to make these games too. And I still say that Call of Duty Black Ops 1 is, when you consider the zombies modes, Der Riese, all the different maps, Black Ops 1 multiplayer, the Black Ops 1 campaign, I still think you could argue that's still the best Call of Duty game ever made, Black Ops 1, in my opinion. You had the FAMAS, you had not the intervention, you had the like LW9 or I don't know. But anyways, I'm getting lost in the weeds here. All I'm trying to say is COD became a phenomenon, and then it started straying into the Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, Ghost. They're doing this thing where they're trying to put one out every year, but only every third one's actually good. And then Modern Warfare comes out. You get this trailer that's just this super high res. Okay, this is like the late stage PS4. Wow, the graphics are amazing type shit. You get the trailer and you're like, okay, like this is almost like, this just seems like a rehash of COD 4. But then, because they had an exclusive deal with PlayStation, you had the beta. Actually, the alpha, if few people remember. The alpha was literally just whatever that 2v2 mode is. If you guys remember, that was the first thing that came out, was the alpha gunfight, right? And I immediately remember being like, oh, they're adding they're doing it again. They're adding another layer of milsim to COD. Like, they're making this look more like Arma or Escape from Tarkov or whatever, like those those PC games, like the thing I that stuck out to me the most was they added this like depth of this extra layer of depth of field and magnification to every sight to these optics. And they added way more realistic muzzle flares, way more realistic, cartridge expenditure, way more realistic smoke and just everything top to bottom. It was like they remade their engine. It was fucking insane. It looked amazing. And I remember playing that beta and being like, holy shit, this is now the best COD that's ever been made. Bar none. Like, this is technically, gameplay wise, this is fucking incredible. And I still would play Modern Warfare 1 to this day. I've often thought I should rebuy it on the PC just to play, because I like the multiplayer for that, the search and destroy. And that was a phenomenon when it came out. We had like 9 people in an Instagram group chat. We were playing search and destroy games. I recorded it. That's when I started playing on Twitch. This was before TikTok.
Dude,
shortly
all the
after,
35-year-old guys at my work were playing it. Like,
my God.
Yeah.
And I was making, this is late 2009, I was making, nice. Got a camera request. I was making fucking, Woke and Boke. I was doing Connor's Corner. I had just bought this. I had it hooked up into my PlayStation. I was playing Modern Warfare on the PlayStation, and I had never even gotten a gaming PC yet. So I thought this was like the peak that I could ever hope for graphically. And, I just remember being like, wow, this game fucking rules. And it really did for a long time. The battle pass and some of the aspects of the menu shit, the friends menu, all that still has never really gotten hashed out. I'm hoping that in this new one they fix that. But anyways, you had the multiplayer. And the multiplayer was really solid. And they would always add maps and game types. You had that shoot house map, which was fucking awesome. You had all these just really solid, like, that's what AAA shooters should be across the board. It should be like, this is what gaming used to be, and it only rarely is still about, is like, let's actually progress the overall quality of games. Let's add something. Let's learn from what's been, and let's add it and make it even better. And, you had the Black Ops Cold War come out. You had fucking Vanguard come out, which is like a fart. I mean, no one gives a shit about that game. But, Woke and Boke had just started. It was like, it came out right when we started doing Woke and Boke, late 2019. And then Warzone came out.
Mm-hmm.
And
right when pandemic hit.
When Warzone came out, I remember playing the tutorial of Warzone where it explained like, oh, you could go to these buy stations and buy a thing and blah, 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 blah. And, like, Warzone, at first, it was kind of like, okay, this is like a much more streamlined version of Blackout from Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Mm-hmm. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 was almost cool as fuck. Like, it was almost cool, but it was like way too fucking big. There was just like, the weapon customization was way too intense. Like, there was just something off about it. All of it kind of, there's too much complexity to it. It wasn't as streamlined. But I remember pro streamers playing Blackout, like, wow, I won and killed 7 people. Like, it was just like, it's not the same as what Warzone is. And then they finally streamlined it with Warzone. I remember at first it was like a little clunky, and then it just fucking took off like wildfire. And now Warzone's what it is. It's got to be the top multiplayer game. You could say that, oh, here and there's moments where the game gets dull or the community stops, whatever. They always find ways to squeeze more out of that game.
COD is eternal. Yeah.
Yeah. Warzone is they have found, a Fortnite level property with that. Fortnite's the same way. Fortnite gets stale, it gets stupid, the game is dumb, but they somehow managed to just barely dangle enough shit to keep players interested, to keep players coming back. You see pro streamers who swear off Fortnite still hop on, like Nick Merckx. He's mostly an Apex Legends streamer. Still hops on Fortnite whenever there's like major chapter updates to it, major events to it. He'll still play it. So obviously for views, because it's still a popular game. So, I'm saying all this to say Modern Warfare is is like one of the most interesting moments I think we've had in modern shooters in a while. Like, it is really seeing COD go from something that was groundbreaking to being something that's groundbreaking again.
Mm-hmm.
And now, Warzone has had its tenure now. Now we're getting what it looks like is them trying to do exactly what they did in 2019 again this year. They're trying to push they're trying to raise the bar. They're trying to take everything that exists, implement it again. And, we'll get to this, but I think one game that they're definitely looking at, because they're like Kirby or they want to suck in a game and make it part of themselves. They want to monopolize this market. Of course they do. It's fucking Activision. It's the biggest game on earth. Yeah, they want to monopolize. They want to take these games that are like, oh, you're doing it like they have dominated the BR genre now. That was something that had nothing to do with them, and then they just came on the scene, and it was like, oh, there's gonna be rumors of a BR mode, and they just they nailed it. So the game that I think they're looking at now for sure is Rainbow Six Siege, and I'll touch on that as to why. But I think that's a big game that they're looking at, and they're like, wow, this game is sick. This offers a whole specific type of mode that, because I play Rainbow Six Siege because it feels highly fucking tactical. It feels so real. It feels like what COD, in a lot of ways, has been trying to do with its campaign, with its search and destroy mode, but it nevertheless has this arcadey texture to it that doesn't quite get to where Rainbow Six Siege is. Rainbow Six Siege is one of a kind. And that's a whole other conversation as to how Rainbow Six Siege started out rocky and then became this phenomenon. And then people fucking and then it became oversaturated and too many, operators and things like that. But it's still fantastic. I still will play Rainbow Six Siege all the time. I like that game a lot. So Modern Warfare 2 gets announced. And just this week at, Summer Games, whatever the fuck. It's like all these new game reveals. We talked about it last episode, Max and I, how E3 is not happening this year, and there's all these different little showcases. They showed the Dark Water level gameplay. Mm-hmm. The first gameplay to show from it. I mean, there was a reveal trailer which was cool, but really the big E3 reveal-ish chunk of gameplay that they've shown now is the Dark Water level. First thing I can say about this thing is, I mean, those graphics, man. Like, this is now a PS5 next generation. I mean, it really does look next generation now. Mm-hmm. It's taken years for them to actually make something next generation, and it really does look next generation. The water effects, the darkness of it, like the detail, even just the recoil and the muzzle flash. Everything about it looks way more realistic and streamlined. Ironically, the guy playing it was really bad. I don't know why. Yeah. He was playing it so poorly. I was like, why do they get this guy who's playing it on a controller with a sync issue? It almost seemed like he wasn't turning fast enough and shit.
Right.
He was almost dying at certain parts. It was what are you doing? And it's you're clearly playing this on easy mode, but it looks really good. I don't have high hopes for the campaign. I don't know about you, Tony. I'm assuming it'll be laterally as good as Modern Warfare 1. The reason I say that is because it's just Captain Price and Ghost and Gav and all. It's all these people. It's it's just going to be another Modern Warfare campaign. I don't think it's going to be Modern Warfare 2. I think they realized that Modern Warfare 2 was goofy and over the top. It was an action war movie.
The snow, I love that snow level where you're ice picking up the side of a mountain,
Yeah, I mean, that was cool.
Shit like that.
That was cool, but it was by the end of that game, you're in, Russia's blowing up the Washington Monument and shit, and it's
right.
And it's you're on a speedboat in the Grand Canyon. It was just it was very Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I think they're going more boots on the ground, which is what they were doing with Modern Warfare 1. I think they're going even further into that. So it'd be cool if they made it more James Bond and realistic and that's what it looks like. I mean, it looks like there's going to be some high action, the guys hanging out of the, helicopter upside down, shooting the tires off shit. I think there's going to be, but,
right.
The one thing I noticed in that reveal trailer is there's there's like different angles to the night vision. Maybe that was just for cinematic purposes, but the night vision looks so much realer, and it looks like, because the graphics and like just the texture and everything that you get with next gen, like, you know, having night vision and having not night vision are both viable now to a degree. It looks like you can actually see shit in the dark a little bit better, or it just looks more realistic nighttime. And then the night vision looks more realistic. It looks more like trail cam, like fucking like, you know, low res, and but in like a cool way. Like, it looks amazing. So I mean, I don't know, that demo was like, all right, I'm extrapolating in my mind what, you know, obviously the campaign is going to be like, what the multiplayer is going to be like. I have high hopes for it. I hope it looks that cinematic and that dope all the time, but it makes me think even more about Warzone. Like, what is Warzone gonna look like?
I think it's going to be a bunch of classic maps put together.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be the biggest map ever. I feel like it's going to be much bigger than Verdansk and Caldera. I have a feeling that it's going to be a little bit more... Caldera, I haven't played enough to really conclusively say this, but it seems like a wonky ass, flat ass, nothing happening map in a lot of ways. Just feels like too big. Doesn't, like, Verdansk was cool because there was like all these major points of interest. And I feel like if they can do that with the new Warzone, I feel like they have a chance to make it a little bit more urban, feel a little bit more fleshed out, and a little bit more unique. Because I feel like Verdansk was cool, but there was a lot of those just like giant Eastern Bloc apartment buildings. Yeah. You know, all with the same kind of like, oh, there's like a box, there's 2 boxes to every roof, and like, right, you know, and there's like 8 floors of stairs. It's just kind of like, I feel like they could do a lot more to make it way more holistic. Like every part of the whole map is unique in its own way. That's what I would hope for. Yeah, I hope there's less copy paste. Exactly, no copy pasting. That's what Caldera is. The problem with it is it's like 70%. Like, there's cool shit. There's a mountain area that's really sick, and you can go underneath the mountain, and there's cool caverns and shit. But 70% of the map is just like wide open, like hilly sort of tree areas, and then there's just these houses. They're just very like generic, basic houses, just scattered about. Yeah, there's like a hillside with like a couple houses, and they're like Verdansk houses. They're just like the same shit. It's like 2 floors. You know, windows on every side. It's just like, we need more interesting. Everything should be a point of interest. Everything should be interesting. It shouldn't just be like, all right, here's a stretch of like, you know, car parts. And it's just like copy pasted, like the fucking graveyard, the airplane graveyard from, you know, like a lot of the points of interest on Verdansk were like, oh, this is like the storage container area, but it's just like a fucking huge stretch of just the same shit. It's boring, you know? And it's like, you have 100 players, like, this shit's already huge. Make the shit either smaller and more like unique, or make it, you know, I don't know. Phones out. Sorry. You good? Yeah, he said this is already huge. What? This is already, you already got 100 players. This is already fucking even bigger than what you would need for that. Like, make it smaller, make it more varied if that's how it's going to be. You know, don't like, because all 100 players aren't going to touch every part of the map. You know, like, I don't know. But you know, just to go through from the top here, like the really exciting aspect I think of this is a whole new Warzone. This is Warzone 2. I never thought they'd be making a Warzone 2. I did not think that would... That's like... At least not so soon. Yeah, and it's like, okay, how's that going to work? Because... really glad I didn't spend any money after my account got hacked. Because if I had just poured money in to like get back to where I was, and time to get back to where I was, I would be a little salty about that. Yeah, because I don't know how that's going to work, because there's hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of... tens of thousands of dollars worth of fucking loot that you could buy from Warzone. There's skins. There's all, and it's like, so you're going to tell me there's going to be Warzone and Warzone 2 at the same time? I don't know. How is that going to work? Is Warzone 1 going to, I figured that was just going to go offline or something. But you're going to offline so many skins for that. Right. I mean, it's like, holy shit, are you going to reimburse people? Like, how's that going to fuck? Are they going to carry over? But that's what they say. So. They're like fresh start, new cosmetics, new stats. It looks like and I'm basing a lot of this off of a TikTok that I sent Tony earlier today. They've tested 100 players and 300 AI all at once, which just sounds like absurd. 400 either NPCs or PCs, I guess, on one map. Like, that sounds fucking insane. Like, I don't love bots in multiplayer, period. I don't really love bots in general. I don't see the point in that. I think that should be optional. I don't know what the fuck is up with that. You're going to be in a BR game and there's going to be 2 people left, but there's going to be 30 bots left. Like, I'm going to have to wait and see how that works. A big part of it, there's no more weapon leveling. You don't have to grind every single weapon to get all the attachments. You just have to unlock the attachments, and every gun with that specific attachment will unlock it. Like, if you get a monolithic suppressor, every gun will get that at once.
It makes sense, because if your guy has a monolithic suppressor, he could just take it off one gun and put it on the other, So I like that a lot. I'm pretty stoked about that.
Yeah. So, that's interesting. And then you've got, so if you get an attachment, you get it for everything. There's apparently sliders for barrels now, which I'm assuming is like a create your character slider. Like, you can make it really small or you can make it like really long. I guess maybe you can do that for every gun now, which would streamline things a lot, because it's like, why would barrel length have to be a fucking thing you unlock? Also, that's one thing to touch on, by the way. Modern Warfare 2019. First of all, I remember people on TikTok in 2020 saying that was the worst Call of Duty game. I just can't think of a more asinine fucking take to have than that. It's just beyond fucking dumb.
Just objectively false.
Yeah, I mean, the attachment system and the weapon building and the way it actually gave you stats and showed you, like, and the way they buffed and debuffed certain attachments in Warzone to go with, I mean, it was just like, when Warzone was out and it was just Modern Warfare, it wasn't Black Ops yet. I mean, that was phenomenal, the way those guns were set up. I remember in the beta playing with the M13 and having all the attachments for that and just be like, this is fucking sick, man. Like, you got the curved grip barrel stock. You got like the fucking, the long barrel, the monolithic suppressor. You got like the red dots. I mean, you feel like a fucking demon.
I used that one for a while. M13.
Yeah, I loved the M13 in multiplayer so much, just because of how it felt. The rate of fire, the no recoil it had when you had the right grips on it. It was just peak COD. I mean, that's peak COD feeling. COD is having a gun with a long barrel, a long suppressor, like a fucking rectangular fucking red dot sight, a cool grip, and just like no recoil, mowing people down. That's what Modern Warfare is all about. And they got that. That's why that game was so good. There's dolphin diving now, which I think, why the fuck not? If you can slide, you should be able to dolphin dive. It should cost the same amount of frames to do each action. It's great. I think it makes sense. It's something they would do in real life. These are realistic things. You can now hang 2 ledges. You can hang off ledges and shoot people off ledges, which, my God, that is going to be interesting in Warzone, having someone and on a ledge shooting you. And what I'm really excited for, which you can shoot on the ledge, but you can propel yourself to the next ledge or a ledge over. So you could be like holding on by a window, shooting, and then hop over to the other side of the window and shoot through the window. This is something that Siege has done, albeit Siege is a bit slower moving game, so I have a feeling this is going to be much faster. That's the other exciting part. You can rappel down the sides of fucking buildings, which means the late game maneuvers people are going to pull, rappelling on the sides of buildings, throwing a flashbang through a window and like getting the last kill upside down through a window, Rainbow Six Siege stuff. I mean, they're about to swallow up the tactical shooter market with that. That's going to be amazing. I'm not even introducing this episode, by the way. Like, fuck that. We're just, we don't have time for that shit.
No.
Y'all know what the fuck is going on. This is Woke and Boke. That's Tony. I'm Connor. Let's move on. You can hang out the window of a vehicle now, which just like going from like driving the car to hanging out the side of the car instead of having to go into the passenger seat. You know, that's something that Tfue does all the time in his like late stage like solo games is he'll just drive a car around and then just switch to passenger, mow someone down, switch back to driver. I mean, it's just like hilarious. So now you're going to be able to literally just have your buddy outside with a shotgun shooting that. I can't wait to see what people do. Vehicles have dynamic destruction, which I feel like the destruction and the environmental effects, and I have a feeling there's going to be more ability to do breaches through walls, you know, running with the Rainbow Six thing.
Our building's going to have destructible someone was telling me that last night. One of my buddies I was playing with said that the buildings are going to have destructible elements.
That would not surprise me if you can run a vehicle into through a wall of a building and hang out the side and shoot people in the. I mean, dog, it's going to be so sick. Like these are just things you wouldn't even think of, but they have clearly gotten so in their fucking like bag with this game just from hearing these elements. These are the types of things in games that excite me. Functionality, gameplay. I don't give a shit about skins. I don't give a shit about story. I don't give a shit about, oh, we're Halo Infinite. We come from a long line of Halo. Oh, Master Chief's in this game. I don't give a, what can you do in the fucking game? Oh, you don't have multiplayer. Oh, you don't have Forge. Oh, you don't have co-op.
You have like, 5 maps.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. I bet you this COD game's going to ship with like fucking 15 maps and they'll add 3 the 4th weekend in. I mean, it's like, I guarantee you, because they have an actual responsibility to a ravenous player base, and Halo doesn't take that shit seriously. They don't see the upside of what they could fucking be, and it's so stupid. And I guarantee you it's because of mismanagement within Microsoft Studios. I guarantee you that. Pushing back and like crunching developers and just all this crap. I guarantee you it's a lot of that. But this isn't a Halo conversation. So yeah, vehicles have dynamic destruction. I'm sure environments will as well. Tires can be shot out. You know, doors can be ripped off, which is cool as fuck. Like you could probably use cars as cover. Way easier now. You drive through a wall, you rip off a door, and then you're shooting through the doors of the fucking vehicle. There's going to be 6v6 modes, which tells me, you know, like there's a mode that's similar to Heist from Black Ops 4, which I think is like I believe it's like a grabbing money and then putting it, like capturing money or something like that, or like getting money like repelled up to a helicopter or something. I don't know.
I played that.
Never really played that a lot, but that's cool. Hang out this I'm sorry, I already said that. And then there's a prisoner mode, which is similar to hostage mode from Siege. That's never really the mode I play on Siege. I always play the plant the bomb mode. But yeah, the other thing, and this is another reason I feel like Siege is going to be a big influence on this game, is at the end of that teaser, it says, they don't say shit like this lightly, in my opinion. Like, if this is like the tagline of your game, it's very interesting. The ultimate weapon is team, which is like not even a full sentence. It's just like it's just like team as an idea. The ultimate weapon is team, and that makes me feel like the campaign, the multiplayer, maybe Warzone even, is going to be a lot more co-op based. I feel like, you know, Siege is very co-op based. You have operators that do. I feel like they have so much shit. I mean, Modern Warfare 2019 had to have sold billions of dollars worth of units. So they know they could just absolutely crush this out of the park if they work on it long enough. And it's clear that they have. Because no one was working on Cold War or Vanguard. No one. None of the hotshots were working on those games. I really liked Cold War. I wish that they had like a whole nother studio that could just make games similar to Cold War, aesthetically, gameplay wise. I think there's like 2 different styles of CODs they can go with, like the historical fiction COD and then the Modern Warfare CODs. I feel like they could be really interesting. I still want to see them. Call of Duty World War II was so fucking good. I got to like 8th prestige in that game. They had war mode, which was like an asymmetrical battle sim, whereas like you have to blow up this bridge, you have to set charges, so you got to defend people, and I mean all these asymmetrical maps, and where you played as the enemies first, and then you played as the good guys or bad guys. I mean, that was fantastic shit. I hope they still develop that out. But it's clear that they have really, crossed their T's and dotted their I's with this new Modern Warfare 2 game. But that's basically all we know, at least all I know right now. I mean, what else is there to say about it? Tony, what do you as an avid Warzone player, is there anything else you're hoping to kind of see in Warzone 2? Where do you think they're going to go with it? Have you heard anything more about this?
No, all the stuff you showed me today was the first time I had heard any of that stuff. I'd only seen the first trailer, but I mean, it's everything I wanted to see. Like, that was the biggest thing and I really hope they have it, is destructible environments, because, I mean, you just launch a rocket launcher at like a thin wall and nothing happens to it.
Yeah.
It's not the most immersive thing.
And it's 2022. If you can't make destructible environments in a fucking shooter now. I mean, it's like,
right.
Come on, man.
No, and then they're like the biggest. They're owned by Microsoft now,
right?
So they have an unlimited budget for this.
Oh yeah.
So no excuses, but I think they'll knock it out of the park. I don't see why not.
I mean, it's making me feel like I kind of want to get a PS5 just so I can experience the game on the PS5 first. And the reason I say I'll definitely buy it on PC. I mean, Warzone will probably be free. Warzone 2 will likely be free, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
But in terms of the full game, they optimize these games for consoles. And that's really clear. What would be huge, too, is if this had FOV native to the console versions as well.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That would be huge, because that was how it was with Black Ops. And maybe, I don't know if they added that with Vanguard, but with Cold War, you could have FOV built in, and I had that shit stretched to the heavens.
Max. Yeah.
But it's clearly a next-gen game. I'm sure it will make my fucking graphics card cough and wheeze. But I think I want to play it on the PS5 because I feel like it will be optimized really well. The gameplay the gameplay looks fantastic. Ghost, all the favorites are back. Sergeant Price. What kind of Muppet's name is Soap anyway?
What kind of Muppet's name is Winona Rydulius?
Winona Rydulius. How did she get past inspection? What kind of Muppet's name is that? I feel like hit the targets, folks. Hit the targets. RAC 130, frankly, is online. UAV is online, folks, frankly. If they make Trump a Warzone playable character,
stay frosty.
It's just Trump in like a suit with a red tie, but he's got like a ballistics vest on. He's like, follow my lead. Care package inbound, frankly.
His hair is like permanently like fluffed. Like, up
there's
in the
like
wind.
There's like destruction effects on his hair. Like his hair can get blown back. When you flashbang him, his hair floats. His hair like comes off like a Lego piece. God, Trump is getting mentioned every Woke Boke episode these days.
It's for the best. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Got frankly, the monolithic suppressor. No one has a bigger suppressor. Nothing suppresses quite like it, folks.
The Car 98K.
Car 98K. It's a 2-shot kill, but if you get a headshot, that shield, boy, it goes down fast, doesn't it? Yeah.
You're getting too good at it.
Yeah. Just like, I'm getting a dough. Res me. Yeah, man. But I forgot what we were saying, but yeah, what were we saying? What we were getting into?
We're talking about Call of Duty.
Yeah, I think that was. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, obviously this is probably going to come out later. Oh, the PS5 version. Like, I just feel like those games are optimized for PS5, and I'm planning on getting a very large television for my living room, 4K. It looks like it is going to run very sexily smooth in 4K. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another PS5 model, like just another SKU, maybe with some larger space or, you know, just whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if there's one in time for this new game. And I'll definitely try it on my PC. I just, you know, after playing Cold War and Warzone on the PC and it whiffing a lot, and it's just jaggedy as fuck. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, look, it's okay, but it's like, unless you play it in VSync, which I usually don't. It runs better if you don't. It's just like, it doesn't look smooth. The console just plays so smooth. And it's so cinematic. It feels more like a, you know, family living room, big TV, lights off, controller game. So I may be looking in to get a PS5 in time for this game's release. Hopefully there's a smaller version. I don't really like, you know, the vaginal Lugia model.
Yeah. Go with the fucking a slim version that's like half of that size.
Yeah, I would love just a box. You know,
just a plain white box. It's all you need.
Would love that. Maybe with just like rectangle. Better, you know, fans and shit. But yeah, man, very excited for this. It's definitely going to be the most anticipated game of this year for sure. I feel sorry for whatever COD game is being developed to release fall of 2023. Yeah,
right.
Because no one's going to give a shit about that. I have a feeling this has the makings to be the best COD ever, considering how they're actually trying to develop and continue this tradition of pushing things forward graphically. And it's the first next-gen COD we've seen since, Jesus. I mean, what was the first PlayStation 4 COD? Was it like, it was Black Ops 3, I think.
No, it was Ghosts.
You're right. You're right. Which is like 2014. It's been like 8 years since we've seen a next generation leap in COD. That combined with their experience from Warzone, combined with their experience with the late PS4 stage, you know, Modern Warfare game, this could be a hell of a fucking game. A hell of a fucking game. I have no doubt. I hold no you know, I would not be surprised. Like, I guess what I'm saying is, nothing could shock me anymore if they fumble this. It's not like I'm like, whoa, a large game studio fumbled a release, but it just seems like there's so much thought already going into basic shit that really impresses me with this. That I'm very, very interested to see this, and I'm very hyped for it.
Even when because when Modern Warfare first came out, like, it was not perfect. And they've in the 2.5 years since then, they've improved it quite a lot. It's still not perfect, but like, I mean, this one looks like a whole another step up. And then think about a year into Warzone, you know, I think it'll be not unrecognizably better, but like,
I mean, I feel like this could be truly the jank free version of Warzone. I feel like they could really optimize this not only for consoles but for PC as well, because they know people on PC are playing this shit.
Learn from 3 years of mistakes.
Yeah, they have the bandwidth to not just ship out a fucking half-baked version of all this shit. There's a lot of opportunity to make a really phenomenal game here, and I hope they do. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. I feel like Warzone could be as attractive as Campaign in terms of how glossy and nice it looks. I feel like they could get really cool with it, because I feel like Warzone is cool, but a lot of times it feels really arcadey. It loses that immersive milsim feel And it's like, leave that for Apex. Leave the arcadey shit for Apex, for Fortnite. Give us like the perfect milsim, sort of like synthesis of Arma, of PUBG, of Escape from Tarkov. Give us the GOAT. You know what I mean? Give us that shit. I feel like they really are going to come strong with this. They've got decades of games to learn from. As far as the campaign story, I don't hold out hopes that it's going to be very interesting or good, though Modern Warfare had a good campaign. Modern Warfare 2019 had a good campaign. Most of the people I know did actually play through that.
Yeah,
I never played through the Black Ops campaign. Nothing is more boring to play when there's a good multiplayer than a campaign where it's just guys hiding behind shit.
Right.
Which looks like what this campaign is going to be. The AI are not very interesting in these late Call of Duty games. It feels like, because in comparison to multiplayer action, there's just not a lot being offered. You know what I mean? Like, and what was the game that didn't have any campaign? Was it Black Ops 4? I think.
Yeah.
And I think Cold War had a campaign.
It did, yeah.
And then I believe Vanguard definitely did. Yeah, Vanguard definitely did. I heard that's
a really good campaign where like the final level culminates and you like switching between all the members of your squad, and it like, I don't know.
I'm interested really in that. Maybe that's worth playing. I mean, I love the World War II. Frankly, I just like World War II video games in general. So,
they're always a quick rip too. They're like, 10 levels.
I feel like they have every opportunity to make the best COD game ever, frankly. Like,
they have every obligation to, considering how much money people have given to them for 3 years.
Billions it's absurd.
Yeah.
Because this would be like COD 16 or something at this point. It's like absurd.
Right. And the better job they do, the more money they'll make. So, it's like...
Yeah. And I just think that, campaign also, like I said, like they have an opportunity to make that a long, serious, like I said, they have the bandwidth. They have a team that could be dedicated to making an amazing fleshed out campaign. They have the team that could be dedicated to making an amazing fleshed out multiplayer. They have a team that could be dedicated to making an amazing fleshed out Warzone. There's no excuse. And I've said it a million times this episode, but, based on the, little changes that I'm hearing they're making to the gameplay, even just dolphin diving, hearing that they're adding dolphin diving is like, all right, that's usually a Black Ops thing. We're going to keep that. We're going to throw that back in. It just seems like they're really drawing from everything to make the ultimate Call of Duty game. And, I think it's going to be exciting. Obviously, it's already pre-orderable. You can get the pre-order right now. And get access to the beta. But now the Call of Duty games, you can't even put down $5 and then go pick it up at GameStop because that's just physical locations are dead now. So, you probably can. But, it's just like you probably have to buy the whole game up front. Which this game I would definitely be interested in maybe purchasing ahead of time. But we'll see. I'm frankly going to wait until I get a PS5 and maybe buy that version of it first and then just play Warzone on PC. Because like Call of Duty multiplayer is fun on PC for sure, but it almost feels a little easy. It almost feels a little too easy. Like Valorant, you couldn't play on a controller, but like Warzone and Call of Duty, you could definitely play on a controller for some reason. It just aim assist works with the game.
Always do.
Yeah. So, anyways,
up on the keyboard.
That was a very long episode. But if you guys have been following Woken Book for a long time, Warzone is
part of our DNA.
Part of our DNA. It's nearly synonymous with the program itself. It came out basically. Warzone. We started Woken Book. Let me see.
A month after it came out. I think it came out in September of.
19. Literally. I think it was. Yeah. No. It literally. It came out this same week as Woken Boke's first episode.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
That's crazy.
October 25th, 2019. Let me look up Woken Boke real quick. I'll scroll down to our first episode. Let's just see how. It literally was. I remember using the mic I bought for Woken Boke for this. And let's see. See episode description. When did this come out? It's just saying October 2019. I'd have to go on Spreaker. I'm too lazy to do that right now.
Still, same month.
Same month. So it's like
crazy.
And Tony and I have always been big shooter fans. We've been big Modern Warfare fans. So it's like
we're top shotas. So
I guess so. Yeah, whatever that means. But yeah, man, we'll talk more on the next episode. I am seeing Top Gun Maverick tomorrow. I'm really excited about that, even though it's a war propaganda movie.
Mm-hmm. I'm seeing that with my family this weekend.
Nice. So we'll have that to talk about. Max, if you're listening to this, which I doubt you're going to listen to it, an hour-long Modern Warfare discussion. Okay.
But I'll go more into detail on my escapades at the batch party because I had some fun there.
I can't wait. And then we got to talk about Black Adam. I got to get your comic book analysis on that soon.
Absolutely.
Just a little preview on that conversation. The Rock says Superman's weakness is magic, which I didn't know that. I thought it was kryptonite, but I guess maybe
and magic.
I go, oh, okay. And he's like, in Black Adam, one of his superpowers is magic. You do the math. So it's like, all right, if I get to see The Rock and Henry Cavill fight Goku Vegeta style, I'm not fucking mad at that at all, my friend. Give us a good 4-hour movie of just that, like Man of Steel level action saturation. Mm-hmm. I'm going to see that twice. And then, yeah, man, we'll get to your guys' emails too. Sorry if this episode was kind of a dud for some of y'all who don't really fucking care about video games or Modern Warfare, to be more specific, but sorry, baby. For the ones that did, I know this was probably enjoyable to listen to and probably got you kind of hyped. So if you did, if you're hyped for Modern Warfare, please shoot us an email. Please, if you haven't sent us an email before, shoot us one. We read all of them shits and we'll read them on air. And we love y'all. And it helps remind us that people care. You know, it's like we don't get a lot of like we don't get a lot of those flare ups like, hey, I'm listening, hey, I'm here. But like if I don't post a fucking episode within a week, someone's gonna be like, what the fuck is going on? You know, so it's just like, I know some of you really look forward to these. So let us know. We'd appreciate it. But as always, it's Welcome Boke forever. We're gonna keep making these forever. Peace the fuck out.
100.
Enjoy your week and see you next Monday. Bye bye.